just occurred to me. Oh, okay. Okay, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Run away is what we're gonna do.
Healing.
Okay, Brackus is back up. I got them both. Oh, that was sick. I got them both. Was Brackus like healing or something? Anyways, we're back to full. Apparently, I'm not going to get this back. Um. Do I try and focus down Brackus, or do I try and go ahead and start rezzing everybody? Because I think I can kill him this round. Ooh. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. 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 Hold I think I had to get real lucky.
Lucian struggles to rise, but the weight of his own pain leaves him to gravity's mercy.
My time is done. But your source burns so bright I'm all but blinded by it. Be wise and true, Godwoken. I am no hero, but wisdom and truth. These are values I always believed in.
Dallis groans in pain.
I have failed.
Here we stand, once more on the cusp of divinity. But this cup, so long thirsted for, I willfully let it pass from me. All my life has been a lead-up to this, to be the King of Kings, God of Gods. I will not say it was in vain, but I will say it was vanity.
Oh, they got res. The developers knew what they were doing. No celebration yet.
If I were to chance upon my throne right now, I would sit down beside it, cast my glance to the horizon, and think of worthier things. I'd think of Sadher, my great love. I'd think of my children, their joyous dance through fiery skies. And of course, I'd think of you, of the adventures we had, of our unlikely yet heartfelt friendship. Yes, I'd sit there, thoroughly contented, and wait for you to ascend the throne.
Bow your head and say it's been an honor traveling with him.
I know.
A mischievous smile.
But I do have to add, likewise.
This is it. I can hardly believe it.
She casts her gaze around the crypt in awe.
After everything we've been through, after everything we've seen, here we are. Here I am. And now that I see godhood before me, I know what I have to do. Chief, you need to ascend. There's no one I would trust with this responsibility but you. I know you'll do what needs to be done, what ought to be done. And I know you'll do it with style.
Thank her and tell her you love her.
Her eyes flash and sparkle with tears. She quickly wipes them away and feigns kicking you down a road.
Back at you, Chief. Always. Now go on, shoo. You've got business to attend to.
Listen, this is it. Again. And I want you to know I'm not putting up a fight, not against you. My revels are now ended. Yours are about to begin. I've had my vengeance, my life and my liberty. You helped me win them back. And then, when we made love, all of me awoke. All I want now is for this to end. To be by your side when we wage the final battle.
That last part didn't happen. That was with Lose.
And long, long after.
There will be a long, long after, you swear
I
it.
know there will. Now kiss me.
You kiss each other passionately, ready to face the darkest dark. After all that you have been through, and all that you have done, all that you have become, the Aetheran lies in front of you. Divinity is yours to take, or to sacrifice. What you do next decides your own fate, and the future of the world. What shall you do with divinity?
Build my destiny.
And so it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwoken. A new divine rose, a true heir to the Seven, more powerful than ever, and united Rivellon in its battle against the Void. All across the realm he was loved, worshipped, and adored. Humans, lizards, elves, and dwarves all rallied to his banner. The Great Allegiance stood once more, but the war continued. From the depths of the Void, the God King still sought to return. As for me, my last hope of ever being freed of the God King's terrible tyranny faded when the Godwoken claimed divinity. An eternity of pain and suffering is mine. I cling now to the dream that one day the veil will be sealed, that one day I can be freed, that one day a new Godwoken will rise.
Oh!
Well, well. Look what the cat dragged in. A god, no less.
He smiles at you fondly as he takes you by the hand.
You've done us proud. You saved the world, didn't you?
I didn't save it alone.
No. We were all of us instrumental, but only one walked away with divinity. I'm glad it was you.
Is there anywhere he'd like the Lady Vengeance to bring him?
Home, if you don't mind. After all, I've dragons to raise. I need to teach them to be good boys and girls before they set the entire world on fire. There may be an accident or two along the way. Please don't hold it against them.
All pending.
I do so long to see my palace again. The Forbidden City. The scents of spices and incense. The sound of sitars in far-off rooms. To sit all day in perfumed shade and watch the white of the marble change with the journey of the sun. But above all, I long to be with Sadha. Long to finally have the time to love.
Wish him the brightest of futures.
Oh, but before you go, remember how when we first met, I took you by the jaw to inspect your teeth?
What an amusing memory. You almost forgotten.
Not something one forgets in a hurry. Now, if you'll recall, despite lacking a sense of fashion, as per your own testimony, you can cook and groom. Two quite indispensable talents. At the time, of course, I couldn't have foreseen the adventure ahead, but now that it's quite over, I'd like to renew the opportunity for you to become my slave. What say you?
Does he realize he's asking a god to be a
Well,
slave?
only the best for the Red Prince. Surely you must realize that by now.
Oh.
Malady stands tall and proud, sunlight sparkling off her mask. From here, she looks almost angelic.
Well, here we are again. You, me, and the ship I've saved from ruin for your personal benefit. I'd say you owe me, but why state the obvious? Let an eye fool, Your Holiness. I expect it's the last we'll see of each other for some time.
She turns to you, arms crossed, and grins.
Look at you. Magnificent.
She doesn't look too bad herself.
Actually, I've never looked better. Except for one small thing.
She fingers the mask, covering her face. For a moment, it seems as though she's about to remove it, but instead, she places a hand on your shoulder.
We've come a long way together. I did my best by you all the way. I sacrificed much. But I'd give even more to see you become exactly what you've become. Soon, I'd like to have a little chat about something you can do for me. But I believe that can wait. Relax. Enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same.
Where'd you plan to go?
Oh, I don't know. Around and about. Treat myself to some mead, a level 300.
Sounds great.
I'd say we've earned it. And when the time comes, I'll come find you. Your Holiness.
Oh! Do I have any meat in me? No! It's in the other fridge, and I don't want to go away at the end of this. No! Ah, well.
The flaming hatchling bounces and cheeps out of sheer
Oh,
excitement.
that's right.
You escaped an abominable prison and confronted the king of all gods, only in turn to confront divinity itself. A rather poetic arc, don't you think? Not that your story is finished, of course. Your divinity shines upon all who walk Rivellon. And there will be those that escape to the shadows. You must be ready to face them, whenever they might emerge.
Any advice for the new divine?
As a matter of fact, yes. Source makes for an excellent ally in matters of a demonic nature. Not only can void seep through the veil, but the beasts of Nemesis might similarly slip out of their own plane. Whether you are clever enough of a divine to keep Damien's disciples confined to Nemesis, I can't say. But I think we'll know soon enough. And I suggest you be ready.
What might be up to next?
Now that I am clear of mind and free of intruders, I'm wondering if it isn't time to share my learnings with the less enlightened. And to that end, I have a few ideas worth considering. Once I've come to a conclusion, I promise you'll be the first to know.
Wish you well.
Until we meet again.
I've never been fond of what the Divine stands for, but I must say, it's rather exciting to say I've been up close and personal with one.
Remark that you hope she's reformed her ways after winning back her freedom.
Reform my ways? How adorable. No, I'm afraid I cannot escape who I am and what I've done.
Her eyes flick down to your mouth. She smiles coyly, then slinks forward to kiss you.
Resist her advance.
Almira pouts in disappointment, but it quickly morphs into a devilish grin.
Oh, no matter. We'll always have our first kiss. I haven't been quite able to put it out of my mind. Just as I'm sure you won't be able to put me out of your mind.
What's up? No, what's next for you?
Who knows? A nice cottage someplace quiet for Mahalia and I. A roaring fire and a feather bed. Maybe. Maybe.
I can still technically buy stuff.
But a girl needs some fun, doesn't she?
Okay, Lose is last. Lose is last.
Well, if it isn't the new divine gracing me with his presence. How honored I am.
Remind me he's speaking to you and telling me to show more.
Tarquin's smirk wilts into a glow.
I didn't come all this way to show deference. Some friendly advice. All who rise are capable of falling. Gods, the divine, anyone.
He's not wrong.
Remember where you came from.
Probably should have made that
The last
comment.
thing this world needs is more tyrants.
That's true. What do you do now?
That is the question, isn't it? How does one top the greatest feat of necromancy ever conceived? I might have the answer to that. Tell me, have you ever heard of Gustavgen? No, of course you wouldn't. It's a written language, unreadable to most, but myself naturally. It comes from a mysterious race from another world. Beings that feed on minds.
Oh, so mind flares. Oh, great. We're gonna fight mind flares in DOS 3 if it ever comes out.
I intend to seek them out. This Gustavgen seems to guard portals to their realm. And once I've uncovered one, well, why settle for being the greatest mind in just one world, and there's another for the taking?
Ah, there you are. I was hoping you'd come find us again. I've never known a god before they became divine. I was curious if it would have changed you.
She gives you a long, assessing look, but makes no immediate comment.
I don't feel changed at all.
Really?
She paces around you like a cat, looking you over.
Well, you certainly look the same. But there's something in the air around you. It vibrates ever so slightly. There's magic in it. Power. Don't you feel it?
Yeah, I do, but I feel unchanged in my soul and mind.
Maybe you should give it a bit of time. I imagine it takes almighty power a little while to settle in.
What did she do? What you'll do now?
Serve my people as best I can. I'm theirs now, and they are mine. Let's do good. You by yours, me by mine. Together. Though, oft apart.
Amazing I'm still here. That we're still here. That Lucian... Well, that relationship always was complicated, wasn't it? You're so much like him. My instincts tell me to kneel to the new divine. I've done so before, after all. But I can't drive myself to do it again.
Not an understanding. I don't want unquestioned devotion. I want a friend.
Gareth beams. For the first time, he is his own man. Yet his enthusiasm is not a man's, but a child's.
A friend, yes. That I know how to be.
For a moment, his mind wanders to memories of friends and enemies, of malady and magisters, of demons and divinity. He is then in the present once more, and smiles at you.
Friends.
What
I
happened
find
next?
a way to fit. I wasn't just content to lurk in Lucian's shadow. I was his shadow. Now I stand in the sun as my own man. I just don't know who that man is. And so I find out. My goal is to have a goal. If that makes sense at all.
A little
And if
bit.
it doesn't, well,
Sounds a bit like an
that's all I've
oxymoron.
got.
The squirrel smiles, nods, and pats you on the leg.
Oh. Spirit of Fane.
I suppose it's time for me to explore a new form of eternity.
Suppose as a just in case. We go down below. Oh, hey. Spirit of Beast. Yeah, everyone else is probably down below. Below say is gonna be the last one we talk to.
Smiles as you approach, and begins to sing a tune you think vaguely familiar.
You hear the wild beast just sails on the ocean. He's docked in the bay and coming your way. Off on the yawn, you hear the commotion. He's
Then
docked
he's-
in the bay and coming your way. Here cupboard can't hide you, nor can your birth. His daggers don't care about the gold that you're worth. He'll bury your bones neath a mountain of earth. He's docked in the bay and coming your way.
He pauses, then continues to hum, all the while working his...
There's nothing interesting down there. The future.
Really? I guess there's no if on. But okay.
Oh my, you! Look who it is! Our brand new Lord and Savior.
She curtsies low and looks up at you with a grin.
So, what's your first order of business? End world hunger? Instigate world peace? Send all spiders back to hell where they belong?
Ask her how it feels to be free once and for all of all that haunted
I
her.
don't know if anyone's free of anything once and for all. But I'm bloody thrilled to be here now. Just me, myself, and you, of course.
I have to say she hasn't changed at all.
Well, yeah. I'm not the next god. Someone made that abundantly clear.
She winks and pokes you in the ribs.
So? Come on, don't keep me in suspense. What are you gonna do with your almighty power?
Tell her I'm gonna start planning to. I want to see all of these options. Rest.
Can it? Sometimes I think this realm of ours is cursed. You look alive, oh divine one. I'll bet this place keeps you on your toes. Big job. I'd offer to help, but I've got some business of my own to attend to.
Care to elaborate?
Get loot, play loot, get loot, get glad. So, Chief, I guess this is it, right?
I won't forget
Her
you.
face softens.
You know, I won't forget you either. Not ever. It's not every day you fall in love with a future god, after all. You'll ace it. I'm sure of that.
Anyways. I'm actually going to choose the top one. Because work is never done.
Big job. I'd offer to help, but I've got some business of my own to attend to.
Take a wild guess. She's going to hit the road with a bunch of filthy artists and get her old band back together.
Ding, ding, ding. My loot calluses are all but worn off. I'm a disgrace. So, Chief, I guess this is it, right?
Her face softens.
You know, I won't forget you either. Not ever. It's not every day you fall in love with a future god, after all. You'll ace it. I'm sure of that.
As she turns from you, the whites of her eyes darken, the veins in her face go grey, and a wicked smile curls her mouth. Suddenly, it's gone again. She winks, and you're left wondering whether you saw anything at all.
See you around.
It gives me almost as much pleasure to speak to you as it does to be whole again.
Remark that it's good to see her. Lady Vengeance has been a dependable ally.
I will always be an ally to those that carry swords, to those whose blood is of the heroes of old, and so, as always, I am at the ready.
Ask how it's possible she's here and unharmed.
Consider me to be a gift from Malady. My wood was splintered, but my spirit intact. It was a great feat, but given her skill, not a surprising one. I feel better than new.
Time to depart.
You look out to the endless beyond, The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And yet, something is different. You are different. And with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command to the Lady Vengeance, and another chapter begins. War raged on. Arx remained the center of power as the races united behind the Divine. But the Voidwoken attacks continued as they did elsewhere. Arx would see many more long years of war. The ancient empire of lizards became one of the pillars of the new Divine Alliance. The houses of war and of shadows were particularly useful in the fight against the God King. The Empire used the war to expand its territory. Justinia returned to her throne. Under her rule, the Dwarven Kingdom fought for the Divine, and her loyalty was unquestionable. Many fine and courageous dwarves did their people great honor, in battle and in death. With Lucian gone, the elves reluctantly rejoined the Divine Alliance. Their place in the war on the Void would entirely depend on the integrity of the new Divine. And on the integrity of the elven Godwoken who did not ascend. And here and there, across the world, what was left of the Black Ring fought on. The island of Fort Joy remained a sorcerer's paradise, a place of exile for those whose sorcery threatened to bring in the Void. For their well-being, its residents depended entirely on the benevolence of the new Divine. Reaper's Coast struggled on. The farms and the fisheries fought to feed the people against the Voidwoken blight. The black pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood teetered on the edge of starvation until the night the Voidwoken came from the sea. All were killed. This did, however, put an end to the famine. The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Arx battled on. Sir Gareth thanked the surviving Seekers for their service and gave them their freedom. Disillusioned with ongoing war, he set out alone to find a new purpose. He would never stop seeking. Young Han grew up a warrior and became one of the Alliance's greatest generals. But even he could not win the war. Almira and Mihaili settled in an abandoned homestead. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. Outsiders were often suspicious, but no local would speak against her. With a new divine at the helm, Malady had a powerful ally, but she was in no hurry to call in her favor. After all, it might be the last thing she ever did. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again. Ahu the Wizard served the new divine with honor, wisdom, and an at times unnerving feline elegance. Jehan the demon hunter never stopped hunting for demons. Sahala sought to strengthen the elven alliance with the new divine. Her powers of sight proved useful in the ongoing war against the Void, but she could never be sure that the new divine trusted her. Tova, her mother, was Sahala's most trusted warrior. As the new mother, Sabil found a great forest and founded a new elven homeland. Elves flocked to her and worshipped her as a goddess. Sabil swore never to kill again, but once in a while she'd look at her needle and smile. On his return to the Empire, the Red Prince was hailed a hero. He married Sada, and they had many more dragons. Soon, the prince became the emperor. Faced with dragons, the Void did not gain the upper hand in the Empire. Lohse returned to her music and enjoyed a storied career as the Divine's premier musician. Dark moods would still overtake her, and she would spend long hours walking in the wilds. She always returned with a new song. And then there was you. For how much of this do you take credit or blame? And what kind of divine were you as the world battled on? Did you show mercy or strength? Did you sacrifice others as Lucian had done? Did you regret becoming divine? Should you have given your soul and sealed the veil? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.
Yeah. A little unexpected, but we did it. We beat Divinity Original Sin 2.